sent back to Last Hearth to bring everybody back to Winterfell, and then he leaves. Keep in mind, Last Hearth is the castle in which was in the theme of the episode. So again, we will probably come back to that part. Hopefully you've seen this episode by now, that you got HBO. If I am your way into seeing this episode, God, I feel sorry for you. You should probably get some damn HBO or a friend who got the shit, man. Like, straight up. So yeah. So he's talking with all the rulers of the North. Everything's going great. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about in this particular scene is how pissed off the lords of the North are, because John left the king, and he came back, I guess a lord or something like that, because you got to think about it like this: Westerosi customs, Westerosi laws. At this point, everybody knows Jon Snow to be Jon Snow. Now, the significance of that name Snow, what a lot of people don't know, but they bring it up in passing during the show. But in all of the Seven Kingdoms, all of the bastards, if you're a bastard, you have a regional specific bastard last name. In the North, it's Snow. In the Crownlands, I think it's Crown in the Crownlands. Riverlands, it's Rivers. Riverlands, it's Rivers. In the Reach, it's Flowers. In the Westerlands, it's Stone. In the Iron Islands, it's Pike. I think it's Pike. And if you need to correct me, please do correct me. You'll see all my social media in the show notes. In Dorne, it's Sand. In Stormlands, it's Storm. And I think that's it. If I'm missing one, please let me know. If I got anything wrong, also, again, let me know. This is being respectful and stuff. We having fun. Game of Thrones. But yes, everybody has a bastard-specific name. So him being a bastard, and he left as a king, and he comes back. Well, who is he? Bastards can't really get titles like that through hereditary means. They have to kind of take them. If they take them at all, or be granted them through naturalization, or be granted them by like anything that they've done, like to show valor or whatever. It's really convoluted, but at the same time, does he get to be the Lord of Winterfell or what? Because technically Bran is the Lord of Winterfell. He's the son of Ned Stark. He's the oldest living son of Ned Stark. He's the Lord, but he's also the three-eyed raven. And, all that. We get other reunions where we get Sansa and Tyrion, who last saw each other in season 4 at Joffrey's wedding. That was the last time they saw each other. They make reference of that. A lot of people leading up to the season premiere were questioning, well, hey, if Tyrion and Sansa meet up again, will they, continue as a married couple? Because keep in mind, Sansa and Tyrion were married. The marriage was never consummated, which is why Sansa got married to Ramsay. The less talked about that, the better. It's fucking terrible. And I curse a lot for those of you guys who are not familiar with my work in the podcast world. I curse a lot. So yeah, Tyrion and Sansa meet up. This is the first time that they've met it's the first time they've seen each other since season 4, episode 2. That was about 5 years ago. They hadn't seen each other. And I don't know what the time split is in the show. Typically, one season is usually like 1 year of time. And then like some seasons start where the last one ended. It's really weird how the time goes. They really didn't dive into a specific timeline or anything like that. So, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a couple years, put it like that. So Tyrion is there and they're talking, and she says something very, very fucking profound, because Sansa's actually grown a lot. I love how they finally make her grow into somebody that people can like, because If I first started watching this show, I couldn't fucking stand Sansa. Sansa had everything about her in a character and in a person that I just did not like, as that she was just super duper naive, and she did play a part in getting her father killed. Let's go ahead and just say that right now. I listen to a lot of Game of Thrones podcasts, and not a lot of people want to say how much of a part Sansa had in actually her father losing his life. Like, I get it. You guys like a character and stuff. You can identify with somebody like that. That's awesome. However, you also have to, hold them accountable for some of their actions, because she didn't have to tell Cersei that they were trying to leave, but she did. And I know she didn't know, but, at the same time, naivety is not an excuse. Keep your family business to yourself. You know what I mean? And then we get the reunion that I'm glad that they saved for a one-on-one encounter instead of in front of everybody. We get Jon and Arya. Jon and Arya were extremely close. Every book describes them as being very close. All the shows describe them as being close. Even only after sharing 2 scenes with each other in the whole show before they reunite here in season 8. Even in the books, Jon and Arya are said to look alike, leading Arya to question whether or not if she was a bastard when they were younger, because she didn't look like her mom. She looked more of like Jon and Arya have Stark features. They look like their father Ned. This is in the books. Of course, we know Jon has Stark features because his mother, instead of his father, is indeed a Stark. His mother being Lyanna Stark, who got married to the recently divorced Rhaegar Targaryen, had a child, told Ned to protect it because she knew that Robert would have him killed if he found out about his Targaryen blood, and him being the actual living, breathing personification of a woman rejecting him. A woman that he loved rejecting him, because Robert did indeed love Lyanna Stark. He probably would have never been faithful to her. For those of y'all who still remember, Robert was the first king that we actually saw on the show who was killed by poison set up by his wife and her cousin. He was killed by poison and a boar in a hunting accident. Staged to look like an accident, but they had to get him drunk as hell so the shit would happen like that. Jon sees how much Arya has grown and changed as a person. She's not the same little girl that he left. And basically, she's trying her extreme best to protect her family. But at the same time, she's trying very hard not to let the stress that she's gone through take her over as a person. And that's just what I see in her character development in the show, and that's what I'm hoping to see a little bit more of that. There's a little bit of foreshadowing that happens a little bit later in this episode, and I'll talk about it as that scene comes up. Right now, we're going to take a trip down to King's Landing. Well, you see Euron Greyjoy and the Iron Fleet sailing back to Westeros with the Golden Company in tow. And this is where the comedy of the episode comes up, too, because there's some funny parts, like in Winterfell, where Bran is like, we ain't got time for all this. And he's Bran, and then you have Sansa's facial reactions towards everything. That was great. But the comedy in this episode goes to one of the most unlikely sources of comedy ever, and that is Cersei Lannister. Now, Euron Greyjoy, who was revealed to have not just fled the scene after seeing the White Walker down in the Dragon Pit. Nah, he was going over to Essos to go pick up the Golden Company. The Golden Company is a sellsword company who, in the books, sellsword, the Golden Company was started by a Targaryen. I can't remember which Targaryen. May have even been a Blackfyre Targaryen, but I can't remember which one. I'll come back on the next episode and I'll correct myself on that, because I'm pretty sure they're going to show more of the Golden Company in the next episode and the episodes to come up, because they are in this season. And they feature heavily in the books. heavily in the books. So the leader of the Golden Company is talking to Cersei, and she asks about the elephants, the war elephants, and he said, "We don't have elephants. They're not really good to bring over on the sea," which is really a real thing during a time where you can't just hastily transfer animals across the ocean, which is now, bringing animals across the ocean where you don't have modern technology and stuff, especially elephants, is a terrible idea tactfully. But Cersei's face and her reactions toward the elephants not being brought there is absolutely hilarious to me. She's like, I was told there'd be elephants, as if the entire point of her hiring the Golden Company was just for war elephants. She's like, whoa. Y'all don't have elephants. What the fuck did I pay for? I paid for elephants. Now, keep in mind, Cersei saw the White Walker. It came straight for her. She saw one of them. Just one. Now, as we all know who watch the show, those of us who live outside of Westeros and can see what's going on in all places, we are the omnipotent watcher of the show. We know how many people there are. Does Cersei really think that elephants will make a fucking difference with all of this? Because all that's going to happen is whichever elephants don't make it are going to get turned into White Walker elephants. Now, as amazing as that would be to see, I don't think that she's ready for that shit. I don't think that's the problem that Cersei wants at this moment. So them not bringing the elephants, good on them. Good tactical decision on that. But then Euron finally gets his promise. Finally gets the friend in Cersei that he needs. And he and Cersei hook up. Which, alright, cool. And then right after, she starts that scene with, "I'm really disappointed about these elephants," which is fucking hilarious that they do a callback to the elephants again. Because, again, she honestly thinks that elephants would have turned the fucking tide. Which, alright, cool, whatever. Elephants won't at all. Elephants won't even do anything against. Now, let's say Cersei had full faith that Jon, the Dothraki, the dragons, the Unsullied, all the armies of the North would be able to defeat the Night King, and everything would be cool. Okay, let's say that. Let's say that. Okay, perfect. Are we to believe that she thinks that elephants could beat dragons? Like, I understand that dragons don't exist in real life. I understand that. And people are like, "Man, it'd be really cool if they did." You need to shut the hell up. No, it wouldn't be, because being able to randomly die by a flying winged creature is not fun at all. There's a fucking cassowary that killed a dude at a zoo in Florida, because of course it was in Florida, a couple days ago. And cassowaries don't even fucking fly. And they're about the closest thing we got to dragons. Look up cassowary, you'll see what the fuck I mean. But if she really thinks that war elephants were gonna stop dragons, no. Elephants can't get that high, and elephants are not fireproof. I'm sorry. I know Dumbo just came out, but yeah, the less CGI'd elephants on TV, the better. Even though would have been kind of cool, because I do like war elephants, because they remind me of one of my favorite African kings. But that's for my other podcast. Anyway, my other podcast, me and Aaron Explains the Universe. You guys can listen to that. Goes on now semi-regularly. So anyway, we get to Bronn in a brothel. Bronn is in a brothel. He finds out in passing that one of the ladies of the night he was with has the pox, and it'll take her within the year. And he's like, "What?" And then Queen Cersei had an offer for Bronn. Now, we'll get into some production shit real quick. Now, because during the show, we all know that Cersei is the type of person who handles her business head on. Yes, always. However, she sends Qyburn to tell Bronn, "Hey, I need you to go kill Tyrion and Jaime. That was the mission that he got. And not only to kill Tyrion and Jaime, but use the same